winter night, beneath the dim moonlight, the small breath you left behind still lingers through the cold air brushing past my feet. The heart that never returned begins to tremble again. Layers of longing we left behind spread softly through the snow-covered dark. Here at the edge of the winter night, I look toward the you who has disappeared. The moments I couldn't hold on to wait quietly somewhere inside me. Frost gathers on the silent windows, mirroring the distance that settled between us. Every muted shimmer on the quiet streets echoes what slipped through my hands. Your warmth drifts like a fading outline, close enough to wake, too far to touch. When I breathe into the dim night air, your voice rises like a pale glow. Here at the edge of the winter night, I stand where our footsteps faded out. Even if time keeps pulling you farther, its echo circles softly in my chest. If I could return to that trembling moment, I'd speak before the silence grew cold. I'd reach for you without hesitation and hold the truth I hid too long. Here at the edge of the winter night, your warmth drifts through the quiet dark. Though you fade beyond the frozen distance, your trace stays deeper than the cold. In the slow fading winter night, beneath the dim moonlight, the small breath you left behind still lingers through the cold air brushing past my feet. The heart that never returned begins to tremble again. Layers of longing we left behind spread softly through the snow-covered dark. Here at the edge of the winter night, I look toward the you who has disappeared. The moments I couldn't hold on to wait quietly somewhere inside me. Frost gathers on the silent windows, that slip through my hands. Your warmth drifts like a fading outline, close enough to ache, too far to touch. When I breathe into the dim night air, your voice rises like a pale glow. Here at the edge of the winter night, I stand where our footsteps faded out. Even if time keeps pulling you farther, its echoes circle softly in my chest. If I could return to that trembling moment, I'd speak before the silence grew cold. I'd reach for you without hesitation and hold the truth I hid too long. Here at the edge of the winter night, your warmth drifts through the quiet dark. Though you fade beyond the frozen distance, your trace stays deeper than the cold. Beyond the window, soaked in winter light, my heart that never settles starts to tremble. Your breath lingering between passing seasons spreads softly into the cold air. Memories layered faintly upon each other rise again in the glimmer of winter's glow. Standing in the scattered winter light, I look toward you, who I can no longer reach. Between traces of warmth that vanished, I slowly draw the shape of you again. Snow gathers on the silent streets, holding the quiet pieces of moments we lost. Every soft shimmer across the frozen glass reminds me of the closeness slipping away. Your presence drifts like a pale reflection, fragile but endlessly returning. When I breathe into the still white air, your voice forms faintly in the haze. Standing in the scattered winter light, I stand where our memories linger last. Even if the world moves far beyond us, your warmth echoes beneath the cold. If I could reach across that into white. Yet in the hush that winter leaves behind, your warmth stays deeper than the frost. Beyond the window, soaked in winter light, my heart that never settled starts to tremble. Your breath lingering between passing seasons spread softly into the cold air. Memories laid vainly upon each other rise again in the glimmer of winter's glow. Standing in the scattered winter light, I look toward you who I can no longer reach. Between traces of warmth that vanished, I slowly draw the shape of you again. Snow gathers on the silent streets, holding the quiet pieces of moments we lost. Every soft shimmer across the frozen glass reminds me of the closeness slipping away. Your presence drifts like a pale reflection, fragile but endlessly returning. When I breathe into the still white air, your voice forms faintly in the haze. Standing in the scattered winter light, I stand where our memories lingered last. Even if the world moves far beyond us, your warmth echoes beneath the cold. If I could reach across that fading glow, I'd speak the truth before it dimmed. I'd hold your hand without trembling and keep the moment from slipping apart. Standing in the scattered winter light, I watch your shadow fade into white. Yet in the hush that winter leaves behind, your warmth stays deeper than the frost. winter night circles me like a fading warmth when I follow the blurred lights reflected in the window. The feelings I lost begin to wake again. Between the long shadows stretching out, your name trembles softly in the dark. Your scent rising in the winter night, remaining even through the distance of time. The moments I couldn't hold on to return, scattering across the cold air. Frost gathers on the silent streets, echoing memories I tried to bury deep. Every pale glimmer in the night stillness reminds me of how close you once were. Your warmth drifts near like a quiet shimmer, soft but impossible to forget. When I breathe into the dim night air, your presence rises like a faint glow. Your scent rising in the winter night, resting where my longing lingers. Even if you're far beyond this season, its warmth still settles gently inside me. If I could step back into that soft trembling night, I'd speak before the silence grew. I'd gather the truth I left unspoken and keep it from slipping into the cold. Your scent rising in the winter night, a quiet ache floating through the dark. Even when the wind carries you farther, your warmth remains deeper than the cold. Your sun rising in the winter night, your lingering trace in the quiet winter night circles me like a fading warmth when I follow the blurred lights reflected in the window. The feelings I lost begin to wake again. Between the long shadows stretching out, your name trembles softly in the dark. Your scent rising in the winter night, remaining even through the distance of time. The moments I couldn't hold on to return, scattering across the cold air. Frost gathers on the silent streets, echoing memories I try to bury deep. Every pale glimmer night stillness reminds me of how close you once were. Your warmth drifts near like a quiet shimmer, soft but impossible to forget. When I breathe into the dim night air, your presence rises like a faint glow. Your scent rising in the winter night, resting where my longing lingers. Even if you're far beyond this season, its warmth still settles gently inside me. If I could step back into that soft, trembling night, I'd speak before the silence grew. I'd gather the truth I left unspoken and keep it from slipping into the cold. Your scent rising in the winter night, a quiet ache floating through the dark. Even when the wind carries you farther, your warmth remains deeper than the cold. The last goodbye left on a snow-covered road seeps quietly into me like fading warmth. Your brief breath brushing between the footprints still holds a corner of my heart in place. The moments that barely remained tremble again beneath the winter light. The last goodbye on a snow-covered road, leaving behind a heart that never reached you. Only the sight of you walking away echoes through the cold and empty air. Snow settles softly along the path we shared, carrying memories I try not to touch. Your shadow stretched thin across the pale white ground, returns like a promise I couldn't keep. Even the silence trailing behind you wraps itself around my thoughts. When I breathe into the quiet drift, your presence rises like a fragile glow. The last goodbye on a snow-covered road, resting where our voices faded out. Even if you disappear into the winter haze, your warmth lingers close to my steps. If I could return to that white trembling moment, I'd speak before the call. last goodbye on a snow-covered road. The last goodbye left on a snow-covered road seeps quietly into me like fading warmth. Your brief breath brushing between the footprints still holds a corner of my heart in place. The moments that barely remained tremble again beneath the winter light. The last goodbye on a snow-covered road, leaving behind a heart that never reached you. Only the sight of you walking away echoes through the cold and empty air. Snow settles softly along the path we share, carrying memories I tried not to touch. Your shadow stretched thin across the pale white ground, returns like a promise I couldn't keep. Even the silence trailing behind you wraps itself around my thoughts. When I breathe into the quiet drift, your presence rises like a fragile glow. The last goodbye on a snow-covered road, resting where our voices faded out. Even if you disappear into the winter haze, your warmth lingers close to my steps. If I could return to that white trembling moment, I'd speak before the cold settled between us. I'd hold the truth I hesitated to offer and keep it from falling into silence. The last goodbye on a snow-covered road, soft as the snow I couldn't hold, though you vanish into the frozen distance. Its ache stays deeper than the cold. Beneath the chilly sky where long shadows fall, my quiet heart lingers on the thought of you. Your faint smile carried in the cold wind spreads again across the season that has vanished. The trembling memories we left behind bloom softly through the pale winter light, drawing you beneath the chilling sky. Even as I walk through time that won't reach you, the warmth that lingered and slipped away still stirs gently somewhere inside me. Frost settles lightly on the distant rooftops, mirroring the silence that grew between our days. Every muted glimmer in the winter air reminds me of the closeness I once held. Your presence hovers like a quiet haze, softening the cold just long enough to ache. When the sky dims to a silver gray, your voice rises through the stillness, drawing you beneath the chilling sky, tracing the outline of what we lost. Even if you fade into another season, my steps remain warmed by your echo. If I could stand with you beneath that sky again, I'd speak before the silence settled in. I'd gather the truths I once avoided and keep them from drifting away too soon. Drawing you beneath the chilling sky, a gentle lake wrapped in winter light. Even as you move beyond the cold, your warmth lingers deeper than the night. Beneath the chilly sky, where long shadows fall, my quiet heart lingers on the thought of you. Your faint smile carried in the cold wind spreads again across the season that has vanished. The trembling memories we left behind bloom softly through the pale winter light, drawing you beneath the chilling sky. Even as I walk through time that won't reach you, the warmth that lingered and slipped away still stirs gently somewhere inside me. Frost settles lightly on the distant rooftops, mirroring the silence that grew between our days. Every muted glimmer in the winter air reminds me of the closeness I once held. Your presence hovers like a quiet haze, softening the cold just long enough to ache. When the sky dims to a silver gray, your voice rises through the stillness, drawing you beneath the chilling sky, tracing the outline of what we lost. Even if you fade into another season, my steps remain warmed by your echo. If I could stand with you beneath that sky again, I'd speak before the silence settled in. I'd gather the truths I once avoided and keep them from drifting away too soon. Drawing you beneath the chilling sky, a gentle lake wrapped in winter light. Even as you move beyond dampened by drifting snow. Only the trace of your breath trembles lightly. The warm expression lingering at the edge of your words awakens slowly in the stillness of the winter night. Memories faintly frozen in time begin to spread through the cold wind. An old promise soaked in snow, though buried beneath the passing years. The heart I couldn't keep still reaches out to me from within. Snow gathers softly along forgotten paths, bringing back the moments I tried to leave behind. Your quiet voice, once close enough to touch, returns like a fragile shimmer in the dark. Every shallow breath in the winter air echoes the tenderness we left unfinished. When I close my eyes to the drifting white, your presence rises like a faded glow. An old promise soaked in snow, resting where our hands almost met. Even if time cannot return us, its warmth still stirs beneath the frost. If I could go back to that trembling silence, I'd hold the words I let slip away. I'd keep the moment from breaking and guard the promise I couldn't hold. An old promise soaked in snow, melting slowly into winter's hush. Even as the years keep pulling forward, its echo lingers deeper than the cold. On the old promise dampened by drifting snow, only the trace of your breath trembles lightly. The warm expression lingering at the edge of your words awakens slowly in the stillness of the winter night. Memories faintly frozen in time begin to spread through the cold wind. An old promise soaked in snow, though buried beneath the passing years. The heart I couldn't keep still reaches out to me from within. Snow gathers softly, long forgotten paths, bring back the moments I tried to leave behind. Your quiet voice, once close enough to touch, returns like a fragile shimmer in the dark. Every shallow breath in the winter air echoes the tenderness we left unfinished. When I close my eyes to the drifting white, your presence rises like a faded glow. An old promise soaked in snow, resting where hands almost met. Even if time cannot return us, its warmth still stirs beneath the frost. If I could go back to that trembling silence, I'd hold the words I let slip away. I'd keep the moment from breaking and guard the promise I couldn't hold. An old promise soaked in snow, melting slowly into winter's hush. Even as the years keep pulling forward, its echo lingers deeper than the cold. On the day the first snow settled quietly on the road, the footsteps we once left side by side returned to me. Between the cold breaths of winter seeping in, the feelings I never spoke begin to rise again. Through the softly drifting flakes, your quiet smile slips back into view. Time stopped beneath the first snow, resting in the seam of a season long gone. The moment I couldn't hold on to still flows slowly somewhere inside me. Snow gathers on the branches like memories kept still, reminding me of the warmth I let fade away. Each pale shimmer under the muted sky feels like the echo of a truth I hid too long. Your presence lingers like a soft trace, flickering just beyond the cold. When the wind hushes and the world grows still, your voice returns like a thin, gentle glow. Time stopped beneath the first snow, lying where the past refuses to melt. Even if winter carries you far from me, I remain where our footprints once met. If I could step back into that hushed white morning, I'd speak before the silence settled in. I'd reach for your hand without hesitation and hold the moment before it slipped away. Time stopped beneath the first snow, a quiet ache soft as fall the season turns again, its echo lingers deeper than the frost. On the day the first snow settled quietly on the road, the footsteps we once left side by side returned to me. Between the cold breaths of winter seeping in, the feelings I never spoke begin to rise again. Through the softly drifting flakes, your quiet smile slips back into view. Time stopped beneath the first snow, resting in the seam of a season long gone. The moment I couldn't hold on to still flows slowly somewhere inside me. Snow gathers on the branches like memories kept still, reminding me of the warmth I let fade away. Each pale shimmer under the muted sky feels like the echo of a truth I hid too long. Your presence lingers like a soft trace, flickering just beyond the cold. When the wind hushes and the world grows still, your voice returns like a thin, gentle glow. Time stopped beneath the first snow, lying where the past refuses to melt. Even if winter carries you far from me, I remain where our footprints once met. If I could step back into that hushed white morning, I'd speak before the silence settled in. I'd reach for your hand without hesitation and hold the moment before it slipped away. Time stopped beneath the first snow, a quiet ache, soft as falling white. Even as the season turns again, its echo lingers deeper than the frost. A faint warmth resting on the winter window brings back the moments where you once stayed. A small breath slipping through the cold air softly stirs the feelings I thought I had hidden. Through the dim light beyond the glass, your name quietly wakes again. A small warmth on the winter window, slowly heating the season that disappeared. The feelings that never reached you still breathe quiet inside me. Frost gathers gently along the window frame, mirroring the distance that settled between us. Every soft reflection in the pale glass carries a trace of the warmth I couldn't keep. Your voice drifts like a whispered glow, close enough to wake, yet far enough to fade. When I place my hand against the cold pane, your presence rises like a hidden ember, a small warmth on the winter window, lingering where our memories once lived. Even when winter deepens without you, its glow holds steady near my heart. If I could cup that warmth in both my hands, I'd hold the moment before it slipped away. I'd speak the words I stayed silent on, and keep the cold from taking us then. A small warmth on the winter window, soft as breath against the frost, even as the season shifts again. Its quiet heat remains within me. A faint warmth resting on the winter window brings back the moments where you once stayed. A small breath slipping through the cold air softly stirs the feelings I thought I had hidden. Through the dim light beyond the glass, your name quietly wakes again. A small warmth on the winter window, slowly heating the season that disappeared. The feelings that never reached you still breathe quietly inside me. Frost gathers gently along the window frame, mirroring the distance that settled between us. Every soft reflection in the pale glass carries a trace of the warmth I couldn't keep. Your voice drifts like a whispered glow, close enough to wake, yet far enough to fade. When I place my hand against the cold pane, your presence rises like a hidden ember. A small warmth on the winter window, lingering where our memories once lived. Even when winter deepens without you, its glow holds steady near my heart. If I could cup that warmth in days I'd hold the moment before it slipped away. I'd speak the words I stayed silent on, and keep the cold from taking us then. A small warmth on the winter window, soft as breath against the frost. Even as the season shifts again, its quiet heat remains within me. Your voice seeps into the stillness of the white night, lingering like a dream that refuses to break. With every flicker of falling light outside the window, the words you left behind quietly spread through me. The warmth that brushed past my ears blooms again in the cold and dimmed air. Your voice soaked into the white night, flowing even through seasons, drifting away. That echo I can never hold slowly brightens my winter. Snow gathers softly on the sleeping rooftops, carrying whispers I wasn't brave enough to keep. The shadow of your warmth drifts near, gentle as the quiet glow of distant lights. Every small tremble in the night air reminds me how deeply you once stayed. When I breathe into the muted dark, your voice returns like a thin silver line. Your voice soaked into the white night, settling where my lonely thoughts unfold. Even if time keeps pulling you farther, its glow remains in places I can't reach. If I could step back into that calm night, I'd answer the words I let pass by. I'd stand where your echo lingered longest, and finally speak without fear. Your voice soaked into the white night, a soft warmth I can't forget. Though it fades into the snowy silence, its light still rests within my winter. voice seeps into the stillness of the white night, lingering like a dream that refuses to break. With every flicker of falling light outside the window, the words you left behind quietly spread through me. The warmth that brushed past my ears blooms again in the cold air. Your voice soaked into the white night, flowing even through seasons, drifting away. That echo I can never hold slowly brightens my winter. Snow gathers softly on the sleeping rooftops, carrying whispers. I wasn't brave enough to keep the shadow of your warmth drifts near, gentle as the quiet glow of distant lights. Every small tremble in the night air reminds me how deeply you once stayed. When I breathe into the muted dark, your voice returns like a thin silver line. Your voice soaked into the white night, settling where my lonely thoughts unfold. Even if time keeps pulling you farther, its glow remains in places I can't reach. If I could step back into that calm night, I'd answer the words I let pass by. I'd stand where your echo lingered longest, and finally speak without fear. Your voice soaked into the white night, a soft warmth I can't forget. Though it fades into the snowy silence, its light still rests within my winter. On a quiet road covered in fallen dawn snow, I think of the heart of you that once felt close. A small tremor slipping through the pale breath of morning stirs the feelings I never found the courage to say. Moments layer faintly over one another, bloom again beneath heart asleep beneath the dawn snow, even in a winter slowly losing warmth. The touch I never reached keeps breathing softly in the white silence. Footprints blur along the softening ground, mirroring the distance that settled between us. Every muted shimmer on the frosted glass recalls the warmth I held too lightly. Your name drifts through the cold air, quiet as the snowfall gathering on my coat. When I breathe into the fading hush, your voice rises like a faint morning glow. A heart asleep beneath the dawn snow, resting where our moments once lived. Even as the world brightens without you, my thoughts stay wrapped in winter's quiet. If I could return to the edge of that morning, I'd hold the words I hid from the cold. I'd reach for you without trembling before the snow erased our path. A heart asleep beneath the dawn snow, warming slowly in the quiet light. Even when the season finally melts, its echo lingers deeper than the frost. On a quiet road covered in fallen dawn snow, I think of the heart of you that once felt close. A small tremor slipping through the pale breath of morning stirs the feelings I never found the courage to say. Moments layered faintly over one another bloom again beneath the dim early light. A heart asleep beneath the dawn snow, even in a winter slowly losing warmth. The touch I never reached keeps breathing softly in the white silence. Footprints blur along the softening ground, mirroring the distance that settled between us. Every muted shimmer on the frosted glass recalls the warmth I held too lightly. Your name drifts through the cold air, quiet as the snowfall gathering on my coat. When I breathe into the fading hush, your voice rises like a faint morning glow. A heart asleep beneath the dawn snow, resting where our moments once lived. Even as the world brightens without you, my thoughts stay wrapped in winter's quiet. If I could return to the edge of that morning, I'd hold the words I hid from the cold. I'd reach for you without trembling before the snow erased our path. A heart asleep beneath the dawn snow, warming slowly in the quiet light. Even when the season finally melts, its echo lingers deeper than the frost. At the edge of a season that will never return, only the faint trace of your footsteps remains, like warmth seeping into places where the snow has melted. The heart I thought had settled begins to ache again. Even as time changes everything, your name stays quietly in its place. Beyond the season that won't return, I keep looking toward the you I can't reach, while I stand at winter's final edge. My heart is still frozen in that day. The sky, pale with the fading cold, reminds me of moments I couldn't hold on to. Every whisper of wind across my coat feels like a memory brushing past, though days have carried us far apart. Your warmth circles back without warning when I breathe into flickers like a distant spark. Beyond the season that won't return, I wait where your shadow used to fall. Even if spring rises without you, my thoughts linger where winter left us. If I could touch the moment we unraveled, I'd speak before the silence settled in. I'd take your hand without trembling and keep what I couldn't keep back then. Beyond the season that won't return, your warmth drifts softly through the cold. Even as you vanish into another time, the echo of you stays deeper than the frost. At the edge of a season that will never return, only the faint trace of your footsteps remains, like warmth seeping into places where the snow has melted. The heart I thought had settled begins to ache again. Even as time changes everything, your name stays quietly in its place. carried us far apart. Your warm circles back without warning. When I breathe into the dimming light, your voice flickers like a distant spark beyond the season that won't return. I wait where your shadow used to fall, even if spring rises without you. My thoughts linger where winter left us. If I could touch the moment we unraveled, I'd speak before the silence settled in. I'd take your hand without trembling and keep what I couldn't keep back then. Beyond the season that won't return, your warmth drifts softly through the cold, even as you vanish into another time. The echo of you stays deeper than the frost. Your smile drifting through the cold morning air settles softly like a piece of winter light. Tiny memories resting on my breath stir the part of me that still remembers you. The trembling moments we left behind rise again in the pale glow of winter. A faint smile in the cold air, even as it brushes past like it might disappear. The warmth I can't quite hold on to remains deep within my heart. Footprints blur along the frost-touched ground, mirroring the distance that grew between us. Every quiet sigh becomes a reminder of the closeness I failed to keep. Your voice drifts like a fragile shimmer, warming the cold just long enough to wake. When I breathe into the stillness, your presence returns in a fragile haze. A faint smile in the cold air, floating where my hands can never reach. Even as winter takes you farther away, its trace lingers where my heart softens. If I could turn back to that chilled morning A faint smile in the cold air, a gentle echo of what we almost kept, though it drifts beyond the winter sky. Its warmth stays deeper than the cold. Your smile drifting through the cold morning air settles softly like a piece of winter light. Tiny memories resting on my breath stir the part of me that still remembers you. The trembling moments we left behind rise again in the pale glow of winter. A faint smile in the cold air, even as it brushes past like it might disappear. The warmth I can't quite hold on to remains deep within my heart. Footprints blur along the frost-touched ground, mirroring the distance that grew between us. Every quiet sigh becomes a reminder of the closeness I failed to keep. Your voice drifts like a fragile shimmer, warming the cold just long enough to wake. When I breathe into the stillness, your presence returns in a fragile haze. A faint smile in the cold air, floating where my hands can never reach. Even as winter takes you farther away, its trace lingers where my heart softens. If I could turn back to that chilled morning, I'd hold the truth before it faded. I'd speak the words I was afraid to offer, and keep your warmth from slipping through. A faint smile in the cold air, a gentle echo of what we almost kept, though it drifts beyond the winter sky. Its warmth stays deeper than the cold. Your name brushes past me in the winter wind, lingering for a moment as if it might fade away. A small shadow swaying beneath the streetlight speaks of the feelings I let slip through my hands. Behind the steps that drift farther off, only deepening longing remains. A name carried by the wind, like your warmth I can never quite reach. It spreads softly, faint and fragile, and blurs into the winter night air. Snow gathers quietly along the silent roads, echoing the distance that grew between us. Each cold breath I draw feels like a memory I'm afraid to touch. Your presence, once so close, returns only as a trembling outline. When I close my eyes against the wind, I hear you like a fading hum. A name carried by the wind, resting on the edge of everything I lost. Even if you're far beyond this winter, your echo still circles around my steps. If I could follow the wind to you, I'd bring every word I left unsaid. I'd face the silence we fell into and let my voice reach where it never could. A name carried by the wind, drifting gently toward a place I can't go, even as it vanishes into the cold. Its warmth lingers deeper than the night. Your name brushes past me in the winter wind, lingering for a moment as if it might fade away. A small shadow swaying beneath the streetlight speaks of the feelings I let slip through my hands. Behind the steps that drift farther off, only deepening longing remains. A name carried by the wind, like your warmth I can never quite reach. It spreads softly, faint and fragile, and blurs into the winter night air. Snow gathers quietly along the silent roads, echoing the distance that grew between us. Each cold breath I draw feels like a memory I'm afraid to touch. Your presence, once so close, returns only as a trembling outline. When I close my eyes against the wind, I hear you like a fading hum. A name carried by the resting on the edge of everything I lost. Even if you're far beyond this winter, your echo still circles around my steps. If I could follow the wind to you, I'd bring every word I left unsaid. I'd face the silence we fell into, and let my voice reach where it never could. A name carried by the wind, drifting gently toward a place I can't go. Even as it vanishes into the cold, its warmth lingers deeper than the night. On the dawn road covered in silent falling snow, your final glance returns to me again. Through the fading warmth of the coffee in my hands, the words I never spoke rise and hold my steps. Beyond the cold and empty air, your name softly seeps into me. Words in the quiet snow, the truth I never found the courage to say. Like footprints fading into white, they echo through winter's silence. Streetlights glow in muted amber, painting shadows where our memories rest. Every gentle drift of snow against my coat feels like the questions I never asked. The world grows quiet around me, but my thoughts speak louder than the wind. When I breathe into the stillness, your voice forms faintly in the haze. Words in the quiet snow, lingering where your warmth used to be. Even if the distance deepens now, my heart repeats what never reached you. If I could turn the snow back to moments, I'd stand before you without trembling. I'd release the silence we both carried, and let my truth reach your hands at last. Words in the quiet snow, falling gently, too soft to hold. Even as they fade into winter's hush, their echo keeps returning to me. Your final glance returns to me again. Through the fading warmth of the coffee in my hands, the words I never spoke rise and halt my steps. Beyond the cold and empty air, your name softly seeps into me. Words in the quiet snow, the truth I never found the courage to say. Like footprints fading into white, they echo through winter's silence. Streetlights glow in muted amber, painting shadows where our memories rest. Every gentle drift of snow against my coat feels like the questions I never asked. The world grows quiet around me, but my thoughts speak louder than the wind. When I breathe into the stillness, your voice forms faintly in the haze. Words in the quiet snow, lingering where your warmth used to be. Even if the distance deepens now, my heart repeats what never reached you. If I could turn the snow back to moments, I'd stand before you without trembling. I'd release the silence we both carried, and let my truth reach your hands at last. Words in the quiet snow, falling gently, too soft to hold. Even as they fade into winter's hush, their echo keeps returning to me. Between the snow laid under a fragile line of sunlight, the season I waited for you comes back to me. A tiny hope brushing past my fingertips knocks gently on the heart I thought was frozen. A quiet light slipping in without a word slowly brightens the path inside me. A ray of light, a winter's end, falling over a heart that felt endless in its cold. Between the lingering traces of longing, it settles warm like a soft breath. Steps echo lightly on the silence. Shadows stretch long in the afternoon glow, drawing out memories I tried to let go. Still, somewhere beneath the frost, your warmth begins to stir. As I stand where winter softens, your voice appears like a distant shimmer. A ray of light at winter's end, touching the corners I once hid away. Even if the past lies far behind, its warmth returns in ways I can't deny. If I could follow this faint light fully, I'd move beyond the cold we couldn't cross. I'd gather every word I left unsaid and finally bring them out of the dark. A ray of light at winter's end, spreading through the quiet of my heart. Even if the snow takes time to melt, this warmth remains, leading me forward. Between the snow layered under a fragile line of sunlight, the season I waited for you comes back to me. A tiny hope brushing past my fingertips knocks gently on the heart I thought was frozen. A quiet light slipping in without a word slowly brightens the path inside me. A ray of light at winter's end, falling over a heart that felt endless in its cold. Between the lingering traces of longing, it settles warm like a soft breath. Steps echo lightly on the melting ground, each one reminding me of days I kept in silence. Shadows stretch long in the afternoon glow, drawing out memories I tried to let go. Still, somewhere beneath the frost, your warmth begins to stir. As I stand where winter softens, your voice appears like a distant shimmer. A ray of light at winter's end, touching the corners I once hid away. Even if the past lies far behind, its warmth returns in ways I can't deny. If I could follow this faint light fully, I'd move beyond the cold we couldn't cross. I'd gather every word I left unsaid and finally bring them out of the dark. A ray of light at winter's end, spreading through the quiet of my heart. Even if the snow takes time to melt, this chill of the early morning air, the warmth you left behind grows faint. Even the last trace resting in my palms scatters gently into the winter wind. The moments you lingered near return as a cold and quiet breath. My heart still beneath the cold wind still stands quietly turned toward you, even knowing you won't return. The season inside me refuses to move on. Frost gathers on the silent streets, mirroring the cracks I didn't see before. Every pale shimmer on the window glass reminds me of a warmth I couldn't hold. Your voice becomes a distant echo, soft enough to break me twice. If I stand in the cold long enough, the memory of you rises like dawn. My heart still beneath the cold wind waits for a step that never comes back, even as time keeps pulling forward. My winter stays frozen where you left it. If I could return to that fading moment, I'd hold your hand before the silence grew. I'd speak the words I swallowed whole and let them reach you without fear. My heart still beneath the cold wind beats softly with what remains of you. Though you drift far into another season, your warmth lingers deeper than the cold. In the chill of the early morning air, the warmth you left behind grows faint. Even the last trace resting in my palms scatters gently into the winter wind. The moments you lingered near return as a cold and quiet breath. My heart, still beneath the cold wind, still stands quietly turned towards you, even knowing you won't return. The season inside me refuses to move on. Frost gathers on the silent streets, mirroring the cracks I didn't see before. Every pale shimmer on the window glass reminds me of a warmth I couldn't hold. Your voice becomes a distant echo, soft enough to break me twice if I stand in the cold long enough. The memory of you rises like dawn. My heart, still beneath the cold wind, waits for a step that never comes back. Even as time keeps pulling forward, my winter stays frozen where you left it. If I could return to that fading moment, I'd hold your hand before the silence grew. I'd speak the words I swallowed whole and let them reach you without fear. My heart, still beneath the cold wind, beats softly with what remains of you. Though you drift far into another season, your warmth lingers deeper than the cold. Through the flurry swirling in the winter air, your face brushed past me, soft and fleeting. Even your brief, gentle smile melted into the pale winter light. I traced the small warmth left on my hand, slowly recalling the moment you lingered, like fading footsteps in the snow. My heart begins to waver, like scattered snowflakes you drift away. Even when I reach out to hold you, you slip through lightly without a sound and disappear into the winter wind. Streetlights blur through drifting white, turning every memory softer than before. The sway of shadows beneath the falling snow reminds me of what I failed to keep. Your warmth, once so close, now trembles on the edge of the cold. If I breathe in the quiet long enough, your presence returns like a gentle blur. Like scattered snowflakes you drift away. I chase the trace you left behind, but every step only widens the distance, carrying you farther into winter's hush. If time allowed even a single pause, I'd hold the moment you slipped from me. I'd whisper the truth I kept hidden before the snow erased our path. Like scattered snowflakes you drift away, even as you melt into the quiet distance. The memory of your warmth remains, resting softly snow. Through the flurry swirling in the winter air, your face brushed past me, soft and fleeting. Even your brief, gentle smile melted into the pale winter light. I traced the small warmth left on my hand, slowly recalling the moment you lingered, like fading footsteps in the snow. My heart begins to waver, like scattered snowflakes. You drift away, even when I reach out to hold you. You slip through lightly without a sound and disappear into the winter wind. Streetlights blur through drifting white, turning every memory softer than before. The sway of shadows beneath the fallen snow reminds me of what I failed to keep. Your warmth, once so close, now trembles on the edge of the cold. If I breathe in the quiet long enough, your presence returns like a gentle blur, like scattered snowflakes. You drift away, I chase the trace you left behind, but every step only widens the distance, carrying you farther into winter's hush. If time allowed even a single pause, I'd hold the moment you slipped from me. I'd whisper the truth I kept hidden before the snow erased our path. Like scattered snowflakes, you drift away, even as you melt into the quiet distance. The memory of your warmth remains, resting softly on my heart like snow. At dawn, standing by the frozen window pane, only the trace of your breath drifts in a frosty haze. In air colder than yesterday's silence, your name rises again where it never erased. The warmth that brushed my fingertips returns as a faint winter glow. Your name in the frostlit breath, resting gently on the words I never spoke. No matter how far the seasons move, you remain warm somewhere inside me. words I hid when you were near. Every pale reflection in the glass reminds me of moments I let slip through. When I breathe into the cold again, your voice forms softly in the air. Your name in the frostlit breath lingers where my heart once reached for you. The winter keeps us far apart. Its quiet hush still carries you to me. If I could return to that dim morning, I'd face the words I kept behind. I'd hold the truth without trembling and let you know I never meant to lose you. Your name in the frostlit breath, falling like snow, I cannot hold. Even as it melts into the distance, its warmth stays deeper than the cold. At dawn, standing by the frozen window pane, only the trace of your breath drifts in a frosty haze. In air colder than yesterday's silence, your name rises again where it never erased. The warmth that brushed my fingertips returns as a faint winter glow. Your name in the frostlit breath, resting gently on the words I never spoke. No matter how far the seasons move, you remain warm somewhere inside me. Snow settles quietly on the empty streets, like the thoughts I hid when you were near. Every pale reflection in the glass reminds me of moments I let slip through. When I breathe into the cold again, your voice forms softly in the air. Your name in the frostlit breath lingers where my heart once reached for you. The winter keeps us far apart. Its quiet hush still carries you to me. If I could return to that dim morning, I'd face the words I kept behind. melts into the distance. Its warmth stays deeper than the cold. Between the narrow winter alleys where the sun sets too soon, only the fading echo of your footsteps lingers. Even with my hands buried deep for warmth, the cold of your empty space slips into my under the trembling streetlight glow. Your name quietly rises to the surface. You left at the end of the winter alley as I traced the warmth that disappeared. All the words I never dared to say bloom into the frozen night air. Snow gathers on the rooftops like unspoken thoughts, and the path we shared feels strangely longer now. Every window lit in amber light reminds me of nights I didn't hold on to you. If I breathe in the cold long enough, your voice returns like a faint memory. You left at the end of the winter alley. The silence you left shapes the air around me. Even if you never walk back this way, your shadow still moves beside my steps. If time would bend for just a moment, I'd walk back to where all winter split. I'd face the words I hid behind and let you know how I was never ready to lose you. You left at the end of the winter alley, falling like soft flakes I cannot keep. Even as you melt into the distance, your warmth lingers deeper than the cold. Gentle winter pop ballad with airy female vocal, felt piano with soft nylon guitar lay. No sharp rhythm, no sharp accordions. Calm snow-lit atmosphere echoing memories left at a winter alley's end. Tempo 888. 92 ppm. About 3 minutes long, intermittent light, like a quiet cold evening. Between the narrow winter alleys where the sun sets too soon, only the fading echo of your footsteps lingers. Even with my hands buried deep for warmth, the cold of your empty space slips into my heart. Under the trembling streetlight glow, your name quietly rises to the surface. You left at the end of the winter alley. As I trace the warmth that disappeared, all the words I never dared to say bloom into the frozen night air. Snow gathers on the rooftops like unspoken thoughts, and the path we shared feels strangely longer now. Every window lit in amber light reminds me of nights I didn't hold on to you. If I breathe in the cold long enough, your voice returns like a faint memory. You left at the end of a winter alley. The silence you left shapes the air around me. Even if you never walk back this way, your shadow still moves beside my steps. If time would bend for just a moment, I'd walk back to where our winter split. I'd face the words I hid behind and let you know I was never ready to lose you. You left at the end of the winter alley, falling like soft flakes I cannot keep. Even as you melt into the distance, your warmth lingers deeper than the cold. Gentle winter pop ballad with airy female vocal, felt piano with soft nylon guitar lead. A younger cold evening. In the cold wind brushing past the dimming alley's end, your fleeting laughter still circles in the air. I reach for the trace of you caught in my scarf, slowing my steps as I sweep the empty space. All the words I couldn't say rise like frosted breath around me. The memory of you brushed by the wind fades like a winter evening glow. Yet the moments I can't night sky. The path we walked remains just the same. Even the wavering shadows under the streetlight seem to speak of the feelings I lost when the warmth left on my fingertips returns to me through the falling snow. The memory of you brushed by the wind awakens with every fragile sigh. Even in a winter that won't come back, I keep your gentle name inside me. If somehow we meet again beyond the silence of that day, I'll quietly take your hand and tell you I won't let go. The memory of you brushed by the wind falls like the season's first bright snow. Even if it's meant to scatter and fade, it wraps around me till the end. In the cold wind brushing past the dimming alleys, and your fleeting laughter still circles in the air. I reach for the trace of you caught in my scarf, slowing my steps as I sweep the empty space. All the words I couldn't say rise like frosted breath around me. The memory of you brushed by the wind fades like a winter evening glow. Yet the moments I can't return to quietly soak into my heart. Even if you drift away like thin clouds in the night sky, the path we walked remains just the same. Even the wavering shadows under the streetlight seem to speak of the feelings I lost when the warmth left on my fingertips returns to me through the falling snow.